Okay, things should be feeling pretty real now when it comes to your business because we are diving into a lot more detail. Section 5, which is really, really important to your business plan and is foundational to being able to build strong forecasts for your business, products, and services. So let's define what the products and services section of a business plan is. We're going to be outlining the specific offerings for your business, what you'll be providing to customers or anybody buying your products or services. This is essential for highlighting the unique value proposition that differentiates you from any competitors in the area. Like I've said before, it's okay if you're generally offering the same product and service, but in this section, we really need to identify where your revenue is coming from, who your target market is, and specifically what value you are going to bring to them and why they want to buy your product. Additionally, we're going to be identifying the key revenue centers to help establish that foundation for your financial projections and your overall business strategy. If there is a section of your business plan that you should pause and really think about before we proceed in too much of a hurry, this is that section. This is your core of your business strategy and should be done very thoughtfully. So in this example, I'm using a jewelry store. We'll sell handmade jewelry, including necklaces, bracelets, and custom pieces for special occasions. The main categories and subcategories of the products need to be identified. This is the foundation of building the revenue centers from which they'll come. For example, later on, we might say within this jewelry category, necklaces represent about 40% of that. We'll also want to identify any special offerings or variations. So in this case, it says custom pieces for special occasions. That might not be something that your competitors are offering. We also need to create a unique value proposition. Remember earlier, I gave you the example of a pizza shop. Well, in the case of pizza shops, very often that unique value proposition is some special variation on a recipe or maybe even a family recipe. Some of them even do cool, unique shapes with the pizza. Our jewelry is made from sustainable materials, offering eco-conscious customers a stylish choice. So the unique value proposition in this case is the eco-conscious, stylish combination, the sustainable materials. This might be somebody that is Googling this and wanting to find this very specific type of product, and whether they're ordering in person or online, this company is identifying that they know that their customer wants that type of product. So what specifically makes you different from your competitors? And if it's the way you provide the service or the technology you use, that is fine. It doesn't have to be a specific product, but you do need to identify what's unique and different about you. Are there any special benefits to any of your products? Like in this example, where it might be the eco-friendly, eco-conscious. Is there a particular health benefit? Or is there just something that's really popular on social media right now that's going to draw people towards your product or service? Is there any special way in which your product feels to the customer? It's important to create a sentiment with every customer transaction, and we want to start outlining that here. So if you could think about any descriptive words or adjectives you'd use or you'd like your customer to use when they describe your products and services, that'll be really helpful to developing your unique value proposition. And here's where we really need to be thoughtful about what we're identifying in your company that will be a key revenue center. So we're going to move beyond the feeling. We understand your unique value proposition, and we're going to translate that into dollars and cents. So what percentage of your sales will come from services? When we get into your financial projections, we're going to break down into categories of services or categories of products to understand exactly where the revenue is coming from and how those categories will grow as you open and expand your business. Which categories will produce the most? And how does your online sales versus your in-store sales? We'll want to understand the difference there and how they'll each independently grow. For example, our revenue will come from in-store sales around 60%, online sales around 30%, and custom orders around 10%. This shows a recognition of knowing where the customer is spending money in the business and how the business is supporting itself and its employees. So seasons and frequency, another important consideration as we build towards your financial projections. I expect my customers to visit about X number of times per year. I expect my average transaction will be about X dollars. When the business is fully mature, I think I'll see about X number of customers per day. And typically, this season is the busiest or slowest time of the year. Particularly for people that live in heavy weather areas, this will be really important as you build out the projections of how your revenue is getting to you and how that revenue ramps up in your first year and in the first 3 to 5 years. There's always some sort of additional detail that makes a business special as well. Special offerings. If we use our jewelry example, customers get a free consult when they buy a custom-built item. Or how about we sell individually, but they can get a special offer if they buy 3 or more, packaged services. Or loyalty programs. They'll save 10% per year. Maybe you have a wellness plan that you're selling, or maybe they buy 9 and get the 10th for free. We'll hold 2 clearance events per year. If you are a retail establishment and have retail products, this is important to know how you're going to clear your shelf and get rid of obsolete products. We'll hold quarterly vaccine clinics to gain new clients. It's important to know how a healthy business will gain new clients and establish a presence within the community to promote particular areas of the business and key revenue areas of the business. Service and product growth. We'll add home delivery service 3 months after opening. Maybe logistically, there are some things that you're not going to add right away, right when you open, but after 3 months or 6 months in business, it makes sense to add that product or service. Maybe you know when you'll be able to expand the services for a groomer, for example. Once that groomer is booking 2 weeks out or more, we'll add another. Or after we have well-established processes, I'll hire another person qualified to do consultation and custom designs. This is really important if you're an owner-operator. How will the business continue to grow that is not completely dependent on only your skill sets? All right, once you have that information, if you're a client of mine, go ahead and send it over. Remember, keep your writing style casual. This is the stage where if you have lists of products or services, we need to start thinking about those. This is also the stage to start thinking about the pricing of those products or services. The products and services, the section of a business plan can tend to be a little bit more labor intensive, but that's really important because that is the bread and butter of your business. And we need to make sure that that is correct so that once we get to the financial projections, we are good to go and we can make some solid assumptions of your business and where it's going. So next up after this will be sales and marketing, which is a fun section to build because we're going to talk about how do we get the news out about your product and service so that customers can find you. And again, and as always, you have support. Clarity Group is there for the journey. If you're a client of mine, I am here for you. It's okay to be an idea factory or question factory during this process. If you need help, do not suffer in silence. Please reach out. Claire at claritygroup.llc.com or go to my website, smallbusiness-dreams.com if you're not a current client and you would like to be one.